Hey everyone, if you're listening to this, you're probably interested in Australian Catholic University, ACU, and you want to know what makes it special, right?
Right.
Well, get ready, because in this deep dive, we're going behind the scenes, way beyond what you see on the website, to uncover what ACU truly stands for.
It's not just about, the facts and figures.
It's about their values,
hmm
their opportunities, their impact. We're going to help you figure out if ACU is the right fit for you. So what struck you right away about ACU?
One thing that's really interesting is that ACU doesn't just talk about their values.
They actually live them.
Yeah, it's baked into everything they do.
Yeah.
They're not just focused on getting students degrees. They're actually trying to help develop people who will make a real difference in the world.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. Values-driven education. That sounds amazing in theory.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like? Like in a classroom or a research lab?
Imagine, like, a nursing program where it's not just about clinical skills. They're also emphasizing ethical decision-making, compassion, advocacy for vulnerable patients,
Wow.
or let's say a business course that challenges students to think about the social and environmental impact of their decisions.
Okay, so it's not just about landing a job. It's about using your knowledge and skills
Exactly.
to contribute to something bigger, something meaningful. I also noticed that ACU is super committed to diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
And not just among the student body, right?
Exactly. They have campuses all across Australia,
Yeah.
which naturally brings a mix of perspectives.
Makes sense.
But it goes deeper than that. They really work hard to cultivate an environment where everyone feels welcome and respected.
I love that. So it's not just about, feeling good.
Right.
It's about a better experience for everyone involved.
It enriches the whole learning and working environment.
For sure. So for someone who's thinking about working at ACU, this emphasis on community is a big plus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not just clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
You're joining a network of passionate people,
Yeah.
educators, researchers who genuinely support each other. It's more like a collaborative team rather than just colleagues.
That's really cool. And speaking of collaboration, how does ACU's commitment to diversity show up in their research?
That's where it gets really fascinating. Imagine a research team tackling a complex social issue. Now picture that team with people from different backgrounds, different disciplines, different life experiences.
Yeah.
That's what ACU encourages.
So the more diverse the perspectives, the more well-rounded the solutions.
Absolutely. They're not just coming up with solutions that sit on a shelf either. They're actually focused on research that makes a tangible impact.
Wow, that's impressive. And speaking of people making a difference, let's talk about some of ECU's notable alumni. There's Dr. Susan Alberti. She's done incredible work in medical research.
She's a powerhouse, especially in women's health and diabetes research.
Yeah, she's a true game changer.
Her work has had a profound impact on people's lives.
Then there's Professor Greg Craven, a renowned legal scholar who's really shaped legal education in Australia.
He's influenced higher education policy, too.
Oh, wow. And of course, we can't forget Dr. John Falson, whose voice for social justice really embodies what ACU stands for. He's out there tackling poverty, homelessness, inequality. He's putting those values into action.
What's inspiring is that these are just a few examples.
Yeah.
There are ACU grads making a difference in so many different fields, from healthcare to law to social activism.
It really speaks to the breadth of ACU's academic offerings, too. I mean, they have everything from education to nursing to business, even theology.
It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of place, and they're not afraid to embrace both traditional disciplines and emerging fields.
So you could say that it's a very dynamic and intellectually stimulating environment.
Exactly. There's a place for all sorts of passions and interests to flourish.
Speaking of passions and interests, let's talk jobs. I was checking out their website, and they have a ton of openings.
They really do.
Like everything from research positions to lecturer roles to university administration, HR, you name it.
Research positions, lecturer roles, you name it, they've probably got a listing for it.
It seems like they're really growing and expanding.
They are. It's a good sign.
So for anyone listening who's thinking, hey, maybe ACU is the place for me, where do they go to explore these opportunities?
Well, they actually have these specific links for different types of jobs.
Oh, that's cool.
Research jobs, lecturer jobs, HR jobs, university jobs.
So you can really target your search.
It makes it much easier to find what you're looking for.
Okay, that's super helpful. But before we jump into the job hunt, let's unpack some key aspects of ACU's approach. We've got this Q&A section that really gets into what makes them pick.
Let's dive into that.
All right, first up, What academic fields does ACU cover in its job offerings? We touched on this earlier, but it's worth emphasizing just how broad their scope is.
Right. It's not just a handful of narrow areas.
Yeah.
We're talking education, health sciences, arts and humanities, business, theology. It's quite extensive.
So if you're someone with diverse interests, you're likely to find your niche at ACU.
Definitely. And they're not just looking for people to come in with a set of skills and stay stagnant. They're really big on faculty development.
Okay, so tell me about their approach to faculty development.
What makes them stand out?
Yeah, what makes them different?
It's not just about attending workshops and conferences, although they offer plenty of those too.
Right.
They have mentorship programs where senior faculty guide newer instructors,
Oh, nice.
creating a real culture of support.
Yeah.
And they encourage faculty to pursue research projects, to present at conferences, to publish their work. It's about fostering continuous growth.
That's a big plus for someone who's looking to build a career in academia.
For sure.
It sounds like they really invest in their people.
Absolutely.
And that investment seems to align perfectly with their approach to research,
Yes.
which is all about real-world problems.
Yes, absolutely. It's about tackling real-world challenges, not just ivory tower theorizing.
So what would you say sets their research approach apart? What are they looking for in the researchers and the projects that they take on?
It's about research that aligns with their values. And it's got to have the potential to make a positive impact on society.
I like that. Research that matters.
Exactly. Whether it's improving healthcare outcomes, addressing social injustice, advancing sustainable practices, it's about making a tangible difference.
Okay, I'm definitely sensing a theme here.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing that this theme extends to their community engagement as well.
you got it.
So it's not just about staying within the university walls.
Yeah,
They're actively involved in the community.
absolutely. ACU's commitment to social justice goes beyond just words.
Yeah.
It's deeply embedded in how they engage with communities.
So they're actually working with communities to address real-world issues.
That's right. They encourage faculty and staff to collaborate on projects that can drive meaningful change.
It's walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Precisely.
It's amazing how all of these pieces fit together. Their values, their approach to education and research, their community engagement. It's a really holistic picture.
Absolutely. They're not just checking boxes.
Yeah.
They're truly living their mission in everything they do.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, but what stands out to you most about ACU? What makes them different from other universities?
For me, it's that unwavering commitment to values-driven education. They're not just producing graduates.
Right.
They're shaping future leaders who are equipped to make a positive impact on the world.
I totally agree. It's inspiring to see an institution so dedicated to its values.
And they actually translate those values into action.
Yeah, they walk the walk.
Yeah.
So for those listening, the question is, does this resonate with you?
Yes.
If you're looking for a university that's more than just a place to get a degree, a place where you can be part of something bigger than yourself, ACU is definitely worth exploring.
It's a place where learning is deeply intertwined with purpose.
And that purpose extends beyond the classroom.
It reaches into the community and into the world.
Okay, we've established that ACU is doing some pretty incredible things. But let's get practical for a minute. What are the actual job opportunities like?
Right. We touched on this a bit earlier, but let's dive a little deeper.
Okay.
Remember those links we mentioned before?
Yeah.
Research jobs, lecture jobs, HR jobs, university jobs.
Yeah, those are super helpful.
Those are your gateway to exploring the wide range of career paths available at ACU.
So if you're picturing yourself leading a groundbreaking research project,
Head straight to the research jobs section.
see what they're working on.
And if teaching is your passion, the lecturer jobs section will give you a sense of the departments that are looking for talented educators.
They've even got those essential roles that keep the university running smoothly. Right?
Yeah, like admin, HR, IT, all of that.
It takes a village to run a university.
Exactly.
So if you're thinking, okay, it's time to dust off the CV, time to make a move, what's the first step?
Those links we mentioned are the perfect starting point. They lead you right to ACU's careers page. You can get the details on each position, the application instructions, even get a glimpse into their culture and values. It's like a mini orientation before you even apply.
That's fantastic. Now, I know you're not just an expert on ACU.
Right.
You're an expert on the entire Australian higher education landscape. What advice would you give to someone who wants to explore university jobs in Australia more broadly?
Great question. Australia has a phenomenal higher education system,
Yeah.
lots of different universities offering a wide range of career paths. So you don't have to limit yourself to ACU.
That's good to know. But where do you even start? I mean, the number of options can feel overwhelming.
I hear you. It can be a lot to navigate. That's where a resource like academicjobs.com comes in.
Okay, tell me more about that.
It's this centralized platform
Right.
that gathers university job postings from all over Australia.
Oh, wow.
It's basically a one-stop shop for anyone who's interested in academic or university-related careers.
So you can search for specific roles,
Exactly.
filter by location.
You can even set up job alerts
Oh, that's smart.
to be notified when positions that match your criteria become available.
So it really streamlines the entire process.
It does. You're not spending hours and hours going through individual university websites.
Instead of feeling lost in a sea of options,
Right.
you have this compass
Exactly.
that's guiding you through the world of Australian university jobs.
A great way to put it.
Okay, that's really good to know. So whether our listener is focused on ACU or considering other universities in Australia, academicjobs.com is a valuable resource.
Absolutely. I can't recommend it enough.
Okay, so we've talked about ACU's values-driven approach, their commitment to diversity and inclusion, their incredible alumni network, the different job opportunities they have,
It's been quite a journey so far.
and we've even touched on the broader landscape of Australian university jobs.
With the help of academicjobs.com.
Exactly. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'd love to hear your final thoughts. If someone is listening to this and thinking, ACU sounds amazing, but is it too good to be true? What would you say to them?
I'd say it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You know, every workplace has its own quirks,
Of course.
but from what I've seen, ACU really does live up to its values. Don't just take our word for it, though.
Yeah, do your own research.
Explore their website, read up on their research, maybe even reach out to people who work or study there.
Yeah, get that firsthand perspective.
Get a feel for the ACU community.
Because ultimately, it's about finding the right fit for you.
Exactly.
Right.
And I truly believe that if you're looking for a sense of purpose, a chance to be part of something bigger than yourself, ACU should be on your list.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. I think it's a great place to start.
Okay, great. So if you're ready to take the plunge, let's talk about those job opportunities.
Okay.
We mentioned those links earlier, research jobs, lecturer jobs, all that good stuff.
Those are your golden tickets.
Yeah, those are really helpful. So if you're daydreaming about leading some cutting-edge research project,
You go straight to research jobs.
check out what they're working on. And if you love teaching, inspiring the next generation,
Lecture jobs will show you exactly what they need.
exactly which departments are looking for those talented educators. And of course, it takes a whole team to run a university, right?
It does. It's like a little city.
They've got admin, HR, IT, all of that.
All the things that keep a university going.
Exactly. So it's not just for academics, right?
It's not just for the professors.
So if someone's thinking, all right, time to update the resume, time to make a change, what's the first step?
Those links are the perfect place to start. They'll take you right to ACU's careers page.
Okay.
You can get all the details about each position, the application instructions. You can even get a feel for the university's vibe.
Oh, that's nice. It's like a mini orientation before you even apply.
Exactly.
Okay, so I know that you're not just an expert on ACU.
Yeah.
You have the whole Australian higher education scene mapped out. So for someone who wants to explore university jobs in Australia more broadly, what advice would you give?
Australia has a fantastic higher education system.
Yeah.
There are so many universities to consider with so many different career paths. So you don't have to limit yourself to ACU.
Okay, so even if ACU isn't the perfect fit, there are other options out there.
There are other fish in the sea, so to speak.
But where do you even begin? I mean, the number of choices, it can be a bit overwhelming.
I completely understand, and that's where a resource like academicjobs.com can really come in handy.
Oh, tell me more about this. It sounds like a one-stop shop.
It is. It's basically a central hub for university job postings from all across Australia.
Wow, so you can search for specific roles, you can filter by location.
You can set up alerts for new postings,
Oh, that's a good idea.
so you'll know right away when something that matches your interests comes up. It really streamlines the whole job search.
Yeah, instead of just, feeling lost and overwhelmed, you've got this compass guiding you through the Australian university job world.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
So whether our listener is laser-focused on ACU or considering other universities, academicjobs.com is a good place to go.
It's a must-have resource.
Okay, great. So we've talked about ACU's values, their commitment to diversity,
Mm-hmm.
their impressive alumni network,
Mhm.
all the different job opportunities they offer.
You've even gone beyond ACU.
We went to the broader Australian higher education landscape with academicjobs.com. That's a lot.
It's been a whirlwind tour.
Has been. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear your final thoughts. If someone's listening to this and thinking, ACU sounds amazing, but is it too good to be true? What would you tell them?
Well, I'd encourage them to do their own research.
Yeah.
Dig a little deeper, look at their website, read about some of the research they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even reach out to people who work or study there and just get a feel for what that community is like.
Yeah, because we can tell you all the great things.
Right.
But ultimately, it's about, is it a good fit for you personally?
Exactly. And I think if you're looking for a place with a strong sense of purpose, a place where you can really contribute to something bigger than yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I think ACU is definitely a place to consider.
Okay, so we've really explored ACU's values, their approach to education and research. We've been inspired by their alumni.
We've even looked at their job opportunities.
Yes, and we even went beyond ACU to the broader Australian higher education landscape.
Right, with academicjobs.com.
Exactly. It's been a very comprehensive deep dive.
It has.
So to wrap things up,
Yeah.
ACU, it's not just a university.
It's a community
Yeah, a community driven by values focused on positive change.
with so many different opportunities for growth.
And remember, if you're ready to start your journey, you can find all ACU and Australian university jobs at academicjobs.com. Good luck.